Minnesota State Republican Representative Pat Garofalo sent out a tweet that caused quite a bit of controversy over the weekend. He said, quote, "Let's be honest, 70% of teams in the NBA could fold tomorrow and nobody would notice a difference with possible exception of increase in street crime." People immediately pounced, rightfully so, and called him silly and racist. And in this case, I think the outrage is 100% justified because I'm going to explain why he's off base on both counts. So first of all, what accounts for NBA arrests in most cases, or even just professional sports arrests in most cases? Weed, marijuana, pot. And the idea that this is like somehow makes you a bad person, no, it's somebody indulging in a substance that's not hurting anybody else. You know, it's a choice. And like we see in Colorado right now, it's totally legal. That's not a state of criminals. It's not like everybody who goes into the local weed store belongs behind bars. That's nonsense. No, this is just, it's a debatable issue. That's exactly what Stephen A. Smith said earlier. He talks about this on ESPN. Not a guy I agree with 100% of the time, but he's right on this. He's saying, look, that's a debatable issue. To say like these guys are all some sort of horrible human beings because they smoke weed from time to time, it's obvious that there are racial and racist undertones to what he's saying, that he views black people, and of course the NBA is a majority African-American, he views them as like, you know how these guys are, these criminals over here. Now, furthermore, the idea that nobody would notice if the NBA went away, it's the third largest sports league in the country. I mean, they generate $5 billion in revenue. Last year's Game 7 during the NBA Finals had 26.3 million viewers. That's the second largest TV audience in 15 years. It's part of what's called the Big Four, right? The Big Four, NFL, MLB, NBA, and NHL. So what do you mean nobody would notice? Because your ass doesn't watch it means nobody would notice? It shows you how myopic and selfish they are. I mean, they can't see outside of their own pathetic little world, small, tiny world view. And then my favorite interaction on Twitter over this, a guy at @bballjanky said to Pat Garofalo in response, "There's more criminals in your profession than the NBA." Now, Pat Garofalo, to his credit in this rare case, responded, "True, can't really dispute that. You should probably look in the mirror, dipshit. You're a much bigger problem than anybody in the NBA or anybody in the NBA that recreationally smokes weed."